Now, house prices may be flat and the property market stagnant, but if you do manage to sell or buy, the cost of actually moving is soaring. Well, some figures to throw at you now. A survey by Lloyds TSB says that the average cost of moving in the UK last year was almost £9,000. That's 69% more than the figure of £5,000 recorded 10 years earlier. Well, by comparison, over the same period, average property prices have risen 64%. But why the increase? Well, estate agent fees now average just below £3,400. That's up 64%. Mortgage arrangement fees also come in at over £1,000. That's up 252%. And stamp duty now costs an average of just under £1,900, also up 64%. Well, if you can take any more on top of that, throw in conveyancing at over £900, again up 64%, and surveyors' fees are about £545 on top. That's up 35%. And if, as I said, if you can take any more on top of that, when the removal van finally arrives and you physically move, that's another £1,100, up 38%. Well, if you can recover from all those figures, I'm now joined by Henry Pryor. He's independent property expert, joins me now live in the studio. Now, the costs, that's ouch, isn't it? That's a lot of money. That's outstripping house price inflation. Is that why the housing market is stuck?
Well, Sam, it's one of the reasons why the housing market is in the doldrums. Like the markets across the financial markets across the world, we're in red territory. In the housing market in this country, with house prices down just over 1.5% over 2011. And one of the reasons that we get rather blasé, particularly those of us as commentators on the market, is that we talk about percentages so frequently. Remember that looking at this Lloyds Banking Group survey, roughly 6% of the value of your house was what you spent 10 years ago in 2001 when you were moving house. It's still about 6%. But as you rightly point out, and what this survey suggests today, is that actually the real cost to the people who are actually moving homes has rocketed to nearly £9,000.
Yeah, let's just unpick some of these things. I mean, estate agents charging over £3,000, £3,400. Why, in the age of online marketing, can they still get away with charging so much? Why do people pay it?
Because, Sam, like all the other costs, by and large, it's always quoted as a percentage. House prices 10 years ago, according to the Halifax, part of the Lloyds Banking Group, were £85,000 typically across the UK. They're now £160,000. Back in 2001, estate agents were charging 1.4%. They're still charging 1.4%. But, of course, that cost as a total sum has gone up considerably.
And just very, very quickly, are we expecting to hear anything on stamp duty anytime soon? Because that cost is pretty significant as well.
Stamp duty, estate agents' fees and inflation have all contributed to this number. We are expecting the Chancellor in March to have a significant change to stamp duty, both to deal with the cost for those at the bottom of the market, but also to have a go at those who have been accused of stamp duty avoidance, particularly at the top end of the market.
And, of course, the end of the holiday.
And, indeed, the end of the holiday for first-time buyers who've enjoyed that for the last 2 years.
OK, Henry Pryor, thank you very much indeed. Well,